What's up, guys? Dustin McDangles back here with another video, and welcome back to the channel. In the episode today, we're going to be getting back into the NHL season preview series, and we'll be taking a look at the Tampa Bay Lightning, how they finished off last year with team stats, individual stats. We'll then look forward to their cap space, draft capital, and talk about their contracts, as well as break down what I think they will do this upcoming season. But if you guys are new to the channel, you know the deal. You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button. Again, it is completely free. Does not cost you a single penny. So join the channel. You guys have been doing a great job helping the community grow, and let's continue that. But getting into it here today, the Tampa Bay Lightning season cut short in the playoffs, and they finally got a little bit of a break, not having to go to the Stanley Cup final for the first time in a little while. Their season, they finished off 46-30-6 for a total of 98 points. Taking a look at individual stats, a couple players standing up off the board. Kucherov, 113 points in 82 games played, an absolute crazy, sneaky year. I don't feel like a lot of people didn't talk about him too much. Braden Point, 95 points in 82 games played. Stamkos, 84 and 81. Hagel, a surprise effort, 64 points in 81 games played. And then Alex Killorn, 64 in 82. Rounding out the rest of the top 10, you've got Sergachev, Hedman, Paul, Colton, and Cirelli. Taking a look over at their cap hit as well as draft capital. Cap hit, they're perfectly fine with the cap right now. If there was a long-term injured reserve, they would be over the cap 100% if he was on the team, but it's Brent Seabrook. I don't think he's playing in the NHL anytime soon. Draft capital at this point for next season, they do not have a first or second round pick. They've got a third, fifth, sixth, and 3 seventh round picks. So the draft capital definitely not there if they are looking to make moves before the trade deadline, because also in 2025 they do not have a first round pick either. Looking at, for me at least, looking at their but their contracts. A couple players have some contract years coming up, most notably Steven Stamkos, team captain. He's got one more year left at $8.5 million. You've got Tyler Mott, you've got Logan Brown, and Alex Barry-Boulet, however you say his last name. They're all contract years up front for the forward position. On the back end, you've got Zach Bogosian, Calvin DeHaan, and Hayden Fleury, all on contract years. And between the pipes, you still have, it looks like they got Johansson as the new backup. It was Elliott for the past couple years. They've got him 2 years locked up, and Andrei Vasilevsky making $9.5 million for the next 5 seasons. Taking another look now at their forwards and defensive contracts. Honestly, they are still built to win. You've got Kucherov, 9.5 for the next 4 years. You've got Braden Point, 9.5 until 2029. Anthony Cirelli, who's on an unreal deal, $6.25 million until 2030. You've got Nicholas Paul, who's on a very good deal at 28 years old, $3.15 million until 2028. Brandon Hagel, I know he's 1.5 this year, but then the Lightning re-signed him at $6.5 million until 2031. Another great deal there. You got Tanner Jeannot, $2.665 million for the next 2. Connor Sherry, they just signed $2 million for the next 3 years. I think that's a very good depth deal for them. Isamont, still at that $800,000 for 2. Luke Glendening, they just signed and brought in $800,000 for the next 2 seasons. Moving to the back end, Sergachev, great deal, $8.5 until 2030. You got Victor Hedman, $7.875 million for the next 2. That's just an absolute steal of a deal with I would say he's still an elite type defenseman for the next 2 seasons. Eric Chernak, I think, is a little bit of an overpayment on the defensive side of things. He is only 26, but $5.2 million until 2030. Nick Perbix, he's $1.125 for the next 2 seasons. And then Darren Radishy, he's he's $762,000 this year, and then he re-signed $975,000 until 2025 after this upcoming season. So very good deals all around the board. Great job by Brisebois to put the team together for John Cooper. They've got a solid contract system. But getting into my official prediction now and what I think the Lightning are going to do this upcoming season. Again, I always say it for every team, but as long as they can stay healthy, I mean, the sky's the limit with this team. If you can expect big years again from Kucherov being up around 110 points, let's say Braden Point gets 100 points this year, Stamkos, let's say he's around 85 to 90 points. If Hagel steps up, has another big year, maybe he puts in 70 points. I know they don't have Killorn anymore, which is going to be a little weird seeing him in an Anaheim Ducks jersey and not a Lightning jersey, but if you can get contributions from the back end as well, like you did last year from Sergachev, Hedman, maybe let's say Chernak, Perbix, somebody else steps up and fills the role of getting some more points up front, as well as new signings such as Sheary, Glendening. You can even throw Mott and Logan Brown in there. If those new signings can really prove their depth on the back end, or not the back end, but the bottom three lines for the Lightning, again, sky's the limit. They kind of plug and play those bottom three lines because there's a lot of in and out teams trying to poach them, get some good players, and maybe bump them up to the second or first line for them. But for the Lightning, they are depth players. Again, Sheary, Nicholas Paul, great depth forward. Cirelli is a first, second line centerman. He can play either line. Very good shutdown forward. Brandon Hagel, I think he will definitely prove his worth. Isamont, Glendening, Mott, Brown, Logan Brown. That's a very good signing, I think, for the Tampa Bay Lightning, bringing him in. I believe his last contract, he was with the Ottawa Senators, if I'm not mistaken. And then on the back end, super depth. Sergachev, Hedman, Chernak, Perbix, Bogosian, DeHaan, Fleury, Radichet. And then obviously between the pipes, you've got one of the best goaltenders, if not the best goaltender in the NHL with Andrei Vasilevsky. So sky's the limit for this team. Again, they had 98 points last year. I think last year was kind of one of those long years because they had made long pushes to the playoffs the previous 2 years before last year. So I think they were definitely a little bit tired, ran out of gas against the Maple Leafs, who finally got over the hump, and they barely just did. So I think they'll be a little bit regalvanized, I think, as well, with the push from John Cooper and getting them remotivated, having had a longer off season, able to heal up some things maybe that haven't been able to heal up in a long time, get that energy back, get that hunger back from wanting to make a deep run in the playoffs. And I think the sky's the limit for this team. Point-wise, I'm going to say they're going to finish up with about 108 points. I think they'll be battling for that first or second spot in the Atlantic Division with the Leafs and maybe the Bruins. I'm not too sure if the Bruins will be in it this year. We'll talk about them in a later video, but I expect big years from Kucherov, Point, Stammer, Hagel, Hedman, Sergachev, Cirelli. I really think that we could see some big years from their depth, the Hagels, the Glendenings, the Shearys, the Tanner Jeannots. Hopefully he comes back and has a solid year. But I'm really excited to watch this Tampa Bay Lightning team, and I hope you guys are as well. Let me know down below in the comments who you think is going to be the biggest X factor other than their top dogs of Kucherov, Point, Stammer, Sergachev, and Hedman, or maybe you think it's going to be one of them. Also, let me know where you think they're going to finish this upcoming season. But if you guys are new to the channel, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. And again, it is completely free, does not cost you a single penny. Help grow the channel. You guys have a couple links in the description for you guys to take full advantage of some promo codes from SeatGeek and GFUEL. So check those out. They are for you guys to utilize and save some money. But that's going to be it for this one. I hope you guys have a good one. And as always, stay dusty.